So today I will be going over the latest AI features and updates that are coming down the pipeline. So my name is Deb. I am the developer team lead in the customer success channel. And if you have any questions or you want to share any suggestions, please click the Q&A button in the Zoom toolbar. So what are the latest updates to Fliplet? So we are enhancing Fliplet Studio with features which will help build your apps, but obviously using AI. So there are two key ways that we're doing this. One of them is being able to create workflows. So via chat interface, and then also building powerful features using like a simple prompt. I will dive into each of these over the next few minutes. So if you're interested in any of this, just type in Action Builder into the Q&A, and we will be in touch afterwards to uh, so you can try these things out. So the Action Builder. So what is the Action Builder? So this is our AI-powered workflow builder. So you'll be able to create actions by chatting with AI. And I guess what are actions? So actions are basically these workflows that are triggered by specific events that happen in your app. For example, you click a button or you submit a form or some data is synced to your data source. So the way these actions are structured is that they are based off of a trigger, like the ones I just mentioned. And once that trigger happens, depending on how you set it up, a few functions will then execute. Functions being like other steps that could create a workflow. So you might have a trigger which will basically, when you click a button, I want these 5 steps to happen automatically without user intervention. So the main use case that we're going for, and the initial use case we're going for, is the notifications. So this is a big part where a lot of our clients are need to use custom code to send out notifications. Um, some of the use cases mentioned here are like sending a notification to all admins when a form is submitted, or you want to send out a push notification to all users when an entry is added to a data source, maybe synced via this or a REST API. You want to send an email and a push notification to all users, like relevant to a post when a news post is submitted. So let's say you submit a news post in the category of artificial intelligence, and you want to look through the data source and find people who've marked that they're interested in this subject, and then send them a push notification um, about the fact that there's a new news post created. Um, so our sort of user interface here is almost all going to be using AI. So you can create many actions, and effectively your interface will be chatting with AI. AI will help guide you through creating the action. It will ask you for any your requirements. You'll be able to chat with it to refine those requirements, um, and AI will be able to will know things about your app. For example, it'll know about data sources that you have in your app and what actions are already set up, and among other things. So you'll be able to have an informed conversation with AI, and hopefully it'll get you uh, an action created, and it will all do that uh, by itself. So there's no clicking around or diagram in the sort of traditional sense. So yeah, this is basically our action builder. Um, the next thing I want to talk about. So that was basically around creating workflows. Now this is what I want to talk about is the AI feature component. This is already live. It has been already being used by quite a few of our clients, and it's pretty popular. Um, so we've seen a lot of our clients use this for a variety of use cases. Some of the ones that I've seen that are stood out to me is like building forms with like basically conditions in it. So like you would show and hide form fields based on like what the user has selected previously. So which is a pretty common use case. Being able to build a table to show the data from a data source instead of like using an LFD, like playing and showing media content, like a video and audio player. Um, Building a custom built searchable list of users, like a directory of people. This is like where you want your own designed LFD, creating quizzes for users to take, where it can sort of email you the results at the end, and all sorts of calculators for standard things like income tax calculators, but also like domain specific calculators that people are building. And calculators obviously usually have like custom formulas that need code to be created. And so this can do that all for you, basically. Um, this is just some of the screenshots of things that I've seen people make. On the left hand side, we have like a form which like collects user data. And in the middle, we have like a dashboard, which is like showing you your app's usage in like a pie chart table. And then on the right hand side, you have like media, like embedded a YouTube video with like a list of offices that are searchable, basically like a list from data source. Um, so I want to show you quickly what we're working on next for this. So here I have the AI feature component, which those of you who've used it are familiar with this, but we are now adding the ability to um, enhance your prompt. We have seen the reason for this is that we've seen a lot of clients struggle with writing a good prompt, which really dives into the finer details of what they want. And I can write a simple prompt like create a form that collects user data, but there's actually quite a few nuances to this. Uh, and so I will just click this so that it can start doing the generating. So this will basically go to AI and it will flesh out the requirements and add in more details about this, which you can then tweak based on what has come back with. So here you can see based on that simple prompt, it's basically gone in and it's created like some context, functional requirements. So these are like the form fields that you would be collecting, what's required, what's not required, what are optional, any validation that needs to be done, and error handling, the design layout. And like any technical considerations like APIs that are needed. It even adds in accessibility requirements. This is a classic example of something that many people would not think to even add in, uh, like integration points, like any code that's needed, and yeah. So basically, you can see that it has really added in all sorts of requirements, and then you can obviously tweak it here before you click save and generate. So now what this is doing is that it's now gone to AI and is asking for code, which will then get injected into the screen, and you will then have the feature ready. Obviously, it's an AI, so it takes a little bit of time. But basically, yeah. So this is kind of our prompt enhancer feature that we're going to be launching very soon. Um, I'll just give it a minute. Uh, Here we go. So here you can see that it's created a nice little form for me. You can see that these are sort of required fields: first name, last name, email, phone number, and address are not required. So yeah, you can see it's stuck to the new enhanced prompt. Um, so um, So what have I spoken about today so far? So obviously the action builder, we will be launching that in the next few weeks in like a very limited beta, where we are initially going to focus on the sending of notifications, just so we can get some feedback and really push the use cases of that as far as we can, and then in the future, but close future, we will be expanding to add more use cases. For example, like interacting with REST APIs. The integrations are obviously a thing that's very popular, but requires usually quite a heavy bit of code because you have to connect with a third-party REST API that has like authentication, bringing in data, and also like syncing it with data in our FLIPLET data sources, and then sort of managing that, managing the flow of that. So uh, that'll be much easier to do with the action builder because it'll be able to do that for you. Um, the AI feature component, obviously, as I said, it's the A version of it is already live, which you can play with. Um, but we'll be adding the ability to enhance your user's prompt, which is what I just demoed to you. We will be launching that within the next 2 weeks, so keep an eye out for that. Um, and and for the future of this component, we are experimenting with and sort of playing with like a chat interface. So obviously, one of the small downsides of the UI that it is now is that you have to you write a prompt and you send it off to AI and it will give you back something, some code. But most people don't get it right on the first go, so they need some tweaks to it, which can get a little cumbersome with just sort of experimenting, and uh, it has some minor flaws. But with a chat interface, you can sort of just you get your first version back, and then you're able to like iterate on that. So like, oh yeah, you might be asking for a form and be like, okay, I don't want this form field, please add this form field, or I want to change the layout, or any design tweaks, and you can keep making small tweaks. We've sort of been inspired by Cursor AI tool that some of you might be familiar with. um, so this will make it much easier to modify the existing code that you have. And yeah, that'll be coming up in the future. But for now, we're going to be focusing on getting to you the prompt enhancer. Um, yeah. again, as I said, if you're interested in the action builder, just type action builder into the Q&A feature in Zoom. Um, let's see if we have any questions. So I can see one question here. So one of the questions is, um, how is data privacy like handled, given this is an AI feature? So with the AI feature component, it never gets access to any of your data in a data source. So you're just typing in a prompt, and it is generating code for you, which is available in the developer tools for you to read. And that is it basically. It might write code which will, assuming you're instructed to do this, to read the data from a data source. But again, that's all sitting in your system, so AI never actually reads any of your data. So it's completely like offline, not offline, sorry, like secure. The data is not given to AI basically.